A massive fireball erupts into the sky, flames tearing through steel pipelines, smoke rising for miles. This isn't a battlefield. This is a refinery, one of the largest in Russia, and it has just been hit. In a dramatic escalation, Ukraine has launched a deep strike targeting what is believed to be Russia's second largest oil refinery. This wasn't a random attack. This was a calculated move. Because in modern warfare, you don't just target armies. You target the systems that keep those armies running. Oil is the lifeblood of any military. It fuels tanks, fighter jets, transport trucks, missile systems. Without it, operations slow down, and in some cases, they stop completely. That's why this strike matters, because instead of attacking the front line, Ukraine is targeting the engine behind it, Russia's energy infrastructure. Over the past year, Ukraine has increasingly relied on long-range drone strikes. These drones can travel hundreds, sometimes even over 1,000 kilometers, flying low, avoiding radar, striking deep inside Russian territory, and refineries have become a primary target because they are difficult to defend completely, large, complex, and critical. A single successful hit can disrupt production for days or even weeks. Russia is one of the world's largest oil producers. Its refineries process massive amounts of crude oil into usable fuel, gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, all essential for both civilian and military use. When a refinery is hit, the impact is immediate. Production drops, supply tightens, and markets react. This is why energy markets are watching closely, because repeated strikes on major refineries can create a chain reaction. Less fuel production, higher global prices, increased pressure on supply chains. And that pressure doesn't stay local. It spreads globally, because energy markets are interconnected. A disruption in Russia affects Europe, Asia, and beyond. But this strike is not just about economics, it's about strategy. Ukraine is applying pressure where it hurts the most: revenue. Russia earns billions from oil exports. That revenue helps fund military operations, support logistics, and maintain long-term war efforts. By targeting refineries, Ukraine is attempting to disrupt that flow, reduce output, and increase the cost of sustaining the war. But there is another layer to this: defense. Russia has extensive air defense systems, radar networks, missile batteries, designed to protect key infrastructure. Yet these drones are still getting through, which raises an important question: how? The answer lies in modern drone warfare: low-altitude flight, small radar signature, and coordinated attacks. Multiple drones launched at once. Some are intercepted, others slip through. This is known as saturation. Overwhelm the defense system, force it to split its attention, and create openings. Even advanced systems have limits, and Ukraine appears to be exploiting those limits effectively. The strike on Russia's second-largest refinery sends a clear message. No target is out of reach. No infrastructure is completely safe. And that message has consequences, because it forces Russia to make difficult decisions, divert air defenses away from the front line to protect infrastructure, or accept continued damage to its energy system. Either way, there is a cost. There is also the question of escalation. Striking deep inside a country's economic infrastructure raises the stakes. It increases the pressure to respond, and potentially to retaliate in kind. This is how conflicts evolve, from battlefield engagements to economic warfare, from military targets to infrastructure. And once that shift happens, the effects become much broader. Because energy is not just a resource, it is a system, a network that supports entire economies. And when that system is disrupted, everyone feels it. Right now, the damage from this strike is still being assessed, but early reports suggest significant fire and disruption at the facility. Emergency crews are working to contain the damage, but refinery fires are complex. They take time to control, and even longer to repair, which means the impact may not be immediate, but it will be lasting. For Ukraine, this strategy offers a way to project power beyond the front line, to hit critical targets, and to influence the broader dynamics of the conflict. For Russia, it presents a growing challenge, protecting not just military assets, but economic infrastructure spread across vast territory. And for the world, it signals something important. The war is no longer confined to the battlefield. It is expanding into the global energy system, because when oil becomes a target, prices respond, markets react, and the consequences ripple outward. This is no longer just a regional conflict. It is an energy war. And with every refinery strike, that reality becomes clearer. Because in modern warfare, you don't just fight your enemy, you target what keeps them alive. And right now, that target is burning.